Hey, it's DBJ and Sophie, and we're going to talk about the best GMs do not back characters in the corners. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have a clear answer for this because I've done it plenty of times. And when I say they don't back characters in the corner, here's the simplest way, the most common cornerbacking you've ever seen. All right. Player characters go into dungeon crawl, destroy the goblinoids, get to the end to get the treasure, and lo and behold, there's goblin children and pregnant goblin families, or orc families, or hobgoblins, or whatever. All right? Okay, so they're pretty much defenseless, they're unarmed, and the characters have to decide what to do. And it's okay, so you want to create this moral situation. All right, what do the players do? Hey, what can they do? But backing them into the corner requires the fact that requires them to take an action other than the one that we as game masters and as players and everything expect 99.9% of the people to do, and that's to kill them all. All right, you don't. When the players decide not to do that, it's now the game master's responsibility to then lead a story that involves that. So, of course, you're going, okay, well, you see the goblin kids, what do? And now you have to go to the next level of the dungeon. Well, if the players decide not to kill them, there may be further story than going to the next level of this dungeon. Now you've got this situation where do they feed them? Do they just scare them off? Do those that are scared off, do they come back with reinforcements? But you have a greater opportunity to tell a story, and also it ends up backing that character, usually the good cleric, the paladin, those players that are the players that play that find it very distasteful to do something like that. Now you're backing them into a corner, a moral quandary where the only acceptance is to accept what the group decides and to be violent. And not every group wants to do something like that. Some groups are like, well, let's let them live. They deserve to live. If they grow up and get older and decide to wield a weapon, then we'll kill them. If they decide to go on and live a peaceful life, then that's their option. We can't decide their future for them. But if you take that off the table and force them into a situation, hey guys, you've got these you got the pregnant hobgoblins, and they got the little hobgoblin kids, and there's an ooze coming down the hallway, and you've got to go to the next level. Let's pick up the treasure. Come on, hurry up. Let's get going. Hurry up. You're backing people into a corner, and you really don't want to do that. Also, if you are not prepared to tell a further story with it, don't create it. If you want your players to create or come up with one answer, you're going down the wrong path. There are plenty of games that I know game masters have run, especially if you start asking people that run the same games at cons, and players will come up with different answers all the time, and you just have to roll with it. You have to allow for greater creativity. You got to allow for other options. One of the things that always gets me pissed off is when someone says, do you like the red one or the green one? And then you go, well, I like the green one. Well, I was hoping you'd like the red. Well, don't ask me a question that you don't want the answer to. And as game masters, we've got to stop that too. Don't set up questions if you don't want the players to answer the other questions. You might as well just have a straight alley instead of having a fork in the road. Because if you leave a fork in the road, they may, on very many opportunities, take the other fork in the road. So, in general, just be careful of that. Be sure that you want to deal with the repercussions of whatever it is that you wanted. If you have a storyline where the evil king wants the characters to go on a mission, and when they come back from the mission, they want to destroy the king, but the king says, if you destroy me, well, that means it will leave complete anarchy in the kingdom. And the players go, well, we don't want that, and we don't want people to starve, so let's leave the king in power. Well, if your whole mission was have them kick the king off the throne, then have them kick the king off the throne. Don't leave the option open where it's 50-50 and the players go, well, you know what? You know, we don't like this guy, but you know, it does make sense to leave him on the throne. So I guess that's where we're going to stop. Just be careful of that. All right. And like I said, always be creative. Don't be destructive with this, because you can really destroy a character's concept if someone's trying to play, or you have a player at the table who's a very moral person and doesn't want to engage in completely immoral acts. Don't force them to make those decisions and compromise themselves, especially if they feel very uncomfortable with it. So anyway, always be creative, man, and try not to destroy either your players' motivations, their willingness to be in the game, or even your own adventure by creating a fork in the road that you never intended to. All right, so thanks, guys.